Hello, family. Thank you for coming over to the house tonight. And just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SK beat. We're kicking. Just kicking. Just kicking. Okay, you don't come to another episode where we're going to be asking the question of, why you telling my business? Don't be telling my business. Why not? Because a can and a can, a can, and a wheel. Now we're off to... Good afternoon, family. Hopefully you all are doing a great job relaxing and chilling and all that kind of good stuff. But we have to talk about Katt Williams and Ricky Smiley. It's been a big thing here in Atlanta, but Katt came and devoured Wanda Smith, I think her name was. Katt didn't let up off of her. And then she ended up getting terminated because of what her husband was doing, carrying a gun to where Kevin Williams was supposed to be there to just sit in on the comedy, we call it the comedy strip. And he was doing a set. And before he could really get in and do a set, one of the husbands was out there in front of him waving a gun. And you know Katt Williams got the hell on. He had to run. I think they ran to the first grocery store that they could see. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to talk about what, we're going to be doing a reaction video where another correspondent speaks their truth about, whatever the subject may be. And like I'm going to do mine on Katt Williams, trying to find something to say nice about Ricky Smiley, even though it's not working out for him. It's truly not working out. But we ain't going to hesitate too long. We'll get on into it now.
You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in. I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was going to be Money Mike. And Katt Williams was going to be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let a athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man you stole that? Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is sad. He was just that bitter when we were shooting it. He told everybody, it should have been my role. Everybody on the scene. Why do you think no cast member has ever said anything?
He couldn't have played that role like you. I thought he was...
Sir, no one... Why no... He was with KD? He beat up Terry Crews? Why nobody know this story? You talking about in Hollywood, they switched off roles. You take this and he... What?
The best side hustle to start in 2022 is not...
Riley knows this. I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with.
Now,
Katt Williams.
now I ain't gonna say Ricky Smiley was okay with it, but I can see your point. But it's kind of confusing because what is his name? Ice Cube had came in because he got tired of both of them bickering towards each other, and he had pretty much sided with Katt Williams to a certain degree, especially when it came to that scene that Katt was saying that they were supposed to play a gay scene and one of them raped each other. Which I'm like, I'm glad you got in there because I didn't want to see no mess like that. Especially if he taking it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he cleared that up real well. So, Katt wasn't lying on that situation either. But let's go back to the audio.
Had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we talking about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? 35 members of the cast and crew have never brought up that Ricky Smiley was going to play Money Mike. No one ever saw me put on a Santa Claus suit. We got a wardrobe department. They made a Santa Claus suit for me. Why that wasn't in the bloopers? Why? And here's the other thing. Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm going to be funnier than you. What he told everybody was, Katt Williams, don't nobody know who he is. I'm on the radio. I'm with Steve and Said. Everybody know me. That's what he told everybody that would listen to on the set. That's the truth of the matter. He was so egregious, not now, then. He was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
So that's why, because when we released that clip and he said that, you responded because he said he was supposed to play Money Mike and you were supposed to play Santa Claus.
An outright lie.
So
that he knows is a lie.
So why would he say it?
Because he's a liar. Nobody knows why liars lie. And that's why I had to come on the program. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Katt because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script. How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike. Because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told them to go get the Prowler. I then told them to paint it purple. I told them don't have an actor playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work for somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement.
Why didn't Cube set the record straight? Terry Crews could have set the record straight. Mike Epps could have set the record straight. Why none of them set the record straight?
That's what you were supposed to ask him when he told you those lies that
But I
no
didn't
one's
know it
ever
was a
heard.
lie.
Right, but he's telling you something no one's ever heard of. Nobody has ever heard. Oh, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Now, how is the hostess of the show, Shannon Sharp, why is he hollering? Why is he hollering? Everybody can hear him. He had good, what do you call it? Not good voiceover. He had good equipment to make sure we could hear everything, even a pin drop. But why is he yelling with Katt?
Was in a movie and somebody said y'all should switch roles, and like, this is a business.
But that's the thing, Katt. Normally when people will give you information, I'm thinking I'm hearing it for the first time and they're giving information no one else knows or have ever heard, so I'm taking them at face value.
This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Yeah, I don't think enough homeowners know.
Now, Katt Williams, no, he just been too much. He said, I don't believe you know what a plant is, or op. You know what I'm saying? Break it down for us. Katt, break it down for us.
Chris Rock, where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Amen, amen, and amen.
That's why, do you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources that we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Because Shannon Sharp got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always was. That doesn't change when I change teams. That remains the same. That's how a legacy is built. So all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before.
Did he just roll over on with a bulldozer, Shannon Sharp? I mean, he used some good analogies for Shannon Sharp to make the connection. I knew it had went over his head, but Katt pulled him back in.
Where the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Ooh. Huh.
So you wonder what they did?
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars.
You see them.
They wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the...
Yes, I did hear that about Steve going down there or calling the director of that movie that Bernie was supposed to be getting. And he had really just tried to sell himself to the director. And the director wasn't feeling him. And just doggish. Because, Steve has done some underhanded mess that we all can concur about it or with it.
behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you got to be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not going to have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym. But you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay. Let's get to your upbringing. We're going to circle back and we'll get some...
I want to protect him real quick, because you had said for the Kings of Comedy, it was in 2018, 2019, but did you mean 1999? Because it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
No, I didn't. No. So what I meant to say was, remember, he said I couldn't do stand-up anymore. I had 7 TV shows. I said he didn't have any of those TV shows at the time.
I know you're talking about Cedric.
Joke stealing from Cedric.
Cedric.
Okay.
You had said in 2018, 2019, but it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, no. What comes out in 2000?
The original Kings of Comedy.
Right. I'm on BET's Comic View, and they're using this as the commercial in 1998. Okay. That's why I'm saying, yeah. So if I said the dates wrong, yeah. So
let's go ahead and clear that up.
Okay.
You said,
yeah,
I had Cedric on here, and I asked him about the joke stealing, and he said the timeline doesn't add up.
Correct.
To that point, you say
Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab and help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship.
Herpes problems? Try this
Yes, for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times. And Katt didn't do as I stand before you, Shannon. I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all a group. Cedric, Steve, Ricky, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem. But we don't let that change the content because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Everything Cedric and Ricky Smiley ever been in got canceled for not being funny. Ricky sat here and told you that they cut him out of every movie he did. They always had a reason, right? That's why I'm funny, because I'm a happy person. I laugh all day long. I can't even imagine the misery of these bums. Just to not be good at what you do, not work hard at what you do, but have to act like you the best at what you do. It is crazy. It's crazy.
But they be touring, they be doing like 100 shows a year.
That's me. I don't run into none of them. That's what I'm saying. If you a Faison Love fan, you mean you've been a fan of him for 32 years, you still waiting on him to do his first special? You mean to tell me if Steve Harvey, your favorite comedian, you mean you've been waiting for him to do stand-up for 15 years now?
I mean, Steve got a lot of other...
DL's still out there. None of those irons matter to stand-up. Who cares that they wrote a placard for you to do Family Feud on? Like, you're successful because we're surprised you can talk for a living and it's entertaining that you're going to say some funny country things. But not a writer.
Right.
Not a writer.
Katt, he did have a good part in the movie, man. The Santa Claus was funny, man.
The dude said the entire time we were filming, I can't play this role. They got a bandana over my nose and my mouth. My family not even gonna know who this is. So yeah, tell your story. Like, Comic View did a couple of disservices to comedy as well. Mm-hmm. So there were people like me that were out there getting 2 and 3 standing ovations in one set. And that wasn't good for television. So what they did was they started making everybody get a standing ovation. So they would tell the audience, when they get off stage, everybody get up and cheer. And so now the fact that I'm the only one out there going to get standing ovations is now making people think everybody get a standing ovation. And that's not how comedy is. So right. I understood why that couldn't go anymore, because remember, Ricky Smiley sat right here and told you a story about how he performed with Mike Epps and Katt Williams when he did Comic View, and to let him tell it, he was funnier than both. My name lived down. Talking about the special needs. That's good.
That's a different
That's
time.
some clever material.
That was a different time, Katt.
No, it wasn't. It was the time I was there.
But I'm saying
that time, this time, same times.
No, but I'm saying
just like people that tell you the Egyptians, they not black. Egypt is in Africa, folks. As long as Egypt is in Africa, then Egyptians are African.
Do you believe you could tell the same jokes today as when you started out? I mean, Eddie Murphy not telling those jokes. Richard Pryor wouldn't be able to tell those jokes in 2024 that they told in the 70s and the 80s.
So they wouldn't have told them.
But that's my point.
They're not inferior people.
No.
If they were in this time, they would be going according to our time. Just like then, we were going according to that. Like, that's how it is in the world. There are words that we can use for a while. And we use them for a while until somebody says, that ain't a good word. Yeah. We should stop saying that.
Correct.
That don't make people feel good. And we stop saying the word. And we move on to another word. You can't say the R word. You can certainly say special needs.
Yeah.
You can certainly say spectrum. You can, there are things that you can say to get your point that don't have to hurt people.
Right.
But you would know that if what you did was construct the English language for a living, then you would understand that part.
Temple freaking. Get
Booyah! Booyaka, booyaka. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Charles on this right now.
Okay, and that was about it of what Katt Williams and Shannon Sharp was trying to put out there on Ricky Smiley. Now, I have to go, but I'll be back. I'm going to try the video reaction on Ricky Smiley coming back to show that what Katt Williams was saying and doing wasn't correct. He brought even his old manager, that's not even his manager, for some decades. But yet, he wants to call the man and tell him what kind of position he's in, what Katt said about him, and how do we proceed. Now, this is your ex-businessman. Why you didn't have this conversation with your new business partner? That's all I was trying to say. It was good back then. Why isn't it good now? Yeah, comedy just haven't been the same since Bernie Mac died. Never been the same. And it's one thing, Steve was too arrogant to work with white folks. But Bernie knew how to speak that language and shade them here and there when he got tired of that bullshit. But no. Steve Harvey was not funny, nor Chris Rock. Unless I'm missing something. But they weren't funny at all. When you had Bernie Mac there, you had Robin Harris there, you had yourself a good script. And then Katt Williams was coming along, but he was, doing some things as well. Mark Curry, he was doing some things, but then everything just went silent on him. I mean, just because you don't want to rap or rep their party, why should the festivities be gone or they don't do with them anymore? But then you have to go on the validity of who rocks the cradle rules the world. Just think about that. Let it sit on your brain. Those who have the crib, those are the ones that rule the world. I know y'all done heard about that now. If you haven't, it was in I can't even think of the movie right now to give you clues of what in the hell I'm talking about, okay? But again, we must part. Yep, we must part until we get something else to record on. But I am going to work on the one I was telling you about where Ricky Smiley was there. Then he blamed the whole day being because his son had died last year. But if you wouldn't have brought yourself back to the job like the same day or the day after, we would, feel some kind of way for you. But, a lot of people saying, hey, you and that ritual stuff. I don't know how true it is. That's what I'm saying, allegedly. And I know some of you all have to make sacrifices. And I don't know what Lord y'all praying for, but the Lord I serve don't need no sacrifice, like killing somebody. He didn't ask for that, nor he needed that from an individual. But y'all, that's all I got for this particular video. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share my videos. Comment in the comment section so we can keep the dialogue going. And if you have not been to my other channel, Make It Make Sense, with the sense spelled CENTZ, please try it out. And definitely hit that notification bell button, subscribe, and share my videos. Okay? That's all I got. I ain't got no more. I'll see you all on the next video. I forgot to say, what do y'all think? Did Katt Williams let Shannon Sharp backdoor him into thinking something had happened when it really didn't happen? Could Shannon be that devious, that deceptiveness, deceitful? Well, of course he can. To me, he looked like a Tasha K, even though Tasha K is female and he's male. I think that's what's going on. Uh-huh. I really, really do believe that. Katt gonna say the truth or his truth, either way it go. Have we caught him in a lie? No, not really. Because we know anything with Hollywood, it's gonna be miserable anyway. Because they're gonna make you do some stuff that you never would thought you would have done in your lifetime. But again, thank you for coming over to the house. And I'll definitely see you next video. All right. Bye-bye.